I'm back with another message. Shout out to everybody who's been tapping in with me for all these years, who's been a day one. I appreciate y'all. All my new subscribers, what's up? I appreciate y'all. Let's get into this message. I want to talk about something I always talk about, but I want to go in a little bit more depth. And we're talking about relationships and cherishing your partner. So many people are in relationships and they're not doing relationships right. You're not doing marriage right. What is the point to be with someone if you're not going to do it right? What is the point to be miserable with someone, faking with someone? You might as well be by yourself. And then if you're going to be by yourself, you got to remember, you're taking a version of yourself. You're taking you with you. So in the next relationship, just because you left someone doesn't mean that you're going to bring the new you to a table. You still have to heal. People don't invest in the healing when they leave these relationships. So you might as well stay in them. What's the point of being toxic to someone else? What's the point of being miserable to other people? You might as well stay miserable with the people that are miserable. If you're going to leave a relationship, you need to spend time healing. It's no sense for you to walk out of that relationship and still take the old version of you and the new relationship that you try to have. It's very important to heal. People don't understand that they have to make sacrifices in order to heal, because we're in a society that normalizes toxic behavior. We're in a society that accepts toxic behavior. We're in a society that demonstrates toxic behavior to be loved. Staying in toxic relationships and not changing, and then only to find yourself in the next relationship with the same drama, the same thing. And it's because we have to change the inside of ourselves. That has to be important. And if anything, if I'm going to dedicate my time in the relationship, if I'm going to make the choice to be married or be in a relationship, I'm about to give it all I got. I am not going to sit up here and put myself in a situation to be miserable. Put myself in a situation where I don't want to perform. Put myself in a situation where for one little thing that I'm ready to go. People give up in these relationships. They throw away their families. They throw away their marriages. Or they're living in these toxic situations and normalizing toxic behavior instead of making the changes that they need to make inside. It's time for people to make inside choices that defines who you are, that bring self-love, so you can be strong enough to stay in these situations or leave these situations and find happiness and not be miserable. Like I said, you might as well be miserable with the people that you got turned out with, being miserable with, versus trying to come around healed people, trying to bring healed people down. That's what people do. They think because they change their circumstance, by them changing them circumstances, that changes the person that they are. But just because you change your environment, just because you change your job, just because you change your clothes, if you haven't changed the inside of you, it does not mean nothing. And it brings me to my next point. The one thing that I noticed, the one thing that I'm going to keep it all the way 1,000 with you guys, is doing it alone, being by yourself. I'd rather be with someone than do all these things, experiencing all these things, but not have somebody I can really trust, not have someone I can really love, not be able to wake up to somebody every single day and just be happy that there's someone doing life with me. These are things that people take for granted. They want to run from their partner. They want to run from their problems instead of fixing themselves, instead of making the situation better for their kids, for themselves. They rather run from their problems and pretend to be healed and not change themselves. And really chasing after things that looks good. People are living for society standards through social media. And then when you hang up social media, what's left? What's left after social media? So there's all this backwards priorities in society today. So I want to encourage people to don't be afraid to love yourself. Don't be afraid to heal what's inside of you. That's where the change is at. Keep pushing, keep going. Continue to break out of toxic cycles. Continue to stay prayed up. I learned that no amount of money, no amount of friendships, no amount of followers, no amount of appreciation and validation outside of myself could ever compare to not having to be single and being with someone and sharing my life with someone. That is so important. People think that the single life is it. People think that they don't need people, but that is a lie. That is a myth. People think that they want to be married and they don't want to live with the person that they're married to. That is a lie. That is a myth. People have not really experienced solitude. People have not really been alone by themselves. People have not really gotten a taste of what they're talking about. So it sounds good because you don't want to put in the discipline that it's going to take to be in partnership with people or pick better partners, that you have an easy partnership with someone. So many people are so alone that they stop at whatever, they settle at whatever, and then they find themselves trying to live with people that they don't like, and then they become miserable. So, and these are circumstances that people face in America today based off of society standards, based off of society saying that you have to be married, that you can't leave your marriage once you get with a person. And if you weren't healed and you made those choices and you made those decisions while you were in a place where you was not healed, you were not the version of yourself that you are today, then you got yourself in something that you might want to evaluate, something that you might want to change. Anyway, I don't want to be long-winded with this message. I'm just giving subjects, giving things to think about. I'm so glad that y'all tapped in with me with this message. I'll be back with another message. Peace, love, and light. Bye.